All right, boys, the censorship war continues. Let's roll on forward. So apparently, Visa and I believe Mastercard also said they replied and said that they're both not doing what they're doing, which obviously is BS. So let's get into it with my man Charlie. Moist Critical, check him out on YouTube.
You're in
Link will
one.
be down in the description for the video.
We're in one, like, together.
Be sure to hit a like, comment, and subscribe on the video.
Not just like specifically you. You yourself haven't been isolated and quarantined and being haunted. All of us in this together are being haunted by the ghost of censorship. But it's
So
not
this all started whenever Visa and MasterCard threatened Japan, and then we had the Council of Karens collective shout that got involved with the gaming industry because they were being ignored on Steam. That's what their statement said on Twitter. They went to Visa and MasterCard directly because they were being ignored on Steam, which is completely based, Steam, and started harassing the Visa and MasterCard companies, in which case they threatened Steam and itch.io if they did not remove not safe for work types of content, that they would be, removing their payment methods from the platform. And then Asmongold and the rest of the collective internet, being the based warriors that they are, got involved, and now they are blowing up Visa and MasterCard's call center to the point where the the people that pick up for them are yelling at the callers and calling them predators and other foul names. And that's kind of a good catch up, I think.
ghost, it's tangible, it's real, and it's happening all over the place right
Yes.
now. We're getting hit from all angles here like it's the Kama Sutra.
And then on top of that, we have the US government trying to censor the internet of all places now with the ID. So that'll be an interesting leap, I think.
It's a full-blown red alert, nipple-squeezing, ass-greasing
Yes, it is.
censorship showdown, and it is flooding every possible aspect of the online space right now. The one I want to follow up on today
Bro's absolutely he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right when he says that.
One that I talked about a bit ago, with Collective Shout successfully using payment processors to bully Steam into removing hundreds of games that they deemed too disgusting to exist. They were really niche gooner games that were very low-hanging fruit and easy target, and then immediately...
But the problem with that is I know a lot of people are like, oh, it doesn't really matter. We don't want those games on here anyway. That's not the point. The point is they don't stop with that. They will collectively go for other games. The same people that advocated for the removal of not safe for work games like that also advocated for the removal of all things, Detroit Becoming Human and Grand Theft Auto 5. Big surprise, you don't want people like this in positions where they're at. That's why it matters. They could advocate for the complete and total destruction of Grand Theft Auto 6, which would be disastrous for the gaming culture. Just throwing that out there.
Piggybacking off that successful campaign, used the same tactic to strong-arm itch.io into removing their content as well, except that extended to things well beyond just those really specific...
I wonder if he's going to bring up mouthwashing. I think, I could be wrong, but I believe that they also advocated for the removal of mouthwashing, that little indie game that was really good with the well-rounded, put-together, and really in-depth horror story.
Rape incest games that they targeted for Steam. It then extended to every adult game on the platform, and it is showing no signs of slowing down here.
Because why would they? Whenever you come across a group like this collective shout, you have to realize that these are people that look for a reason to exist, kind of like an HR department. They will find a reason to keep going because their jobs and or livelihoods probably depend on this. So, like any cockroach that gets into your house, you've got to squish them before they get to be the German cockroach length and size of a colony. Because once they get that big, it's just really hard to remove. And we actually might have let them go too far, in my opinion.
As payment processors are now cosplaying as the moral arbiters that dictate what you can and cannot use your money.
Which is absolutely disturbing and terrifying to think about, that two monopolized card companies can single-handedly change a culture like Japan and censoring its manga without any word from the government. That is an unprecedented, terrifying thing to even think about, much less know that it happened and exists today.
It's a really bleak future.
It is.
Terrible.
It's terrifying.
And Mastercard is aware that it's a bad look for them, as they've been inundated with tons of very rightfully angry and concerned customers and clients.
Over 20,000 call volume a day, boys. Keep it up. You're killing it, boys.
That are reaching out about how unacceptable it is that Mastercard would tell them what they are allowed and are not allowed to spend their money on.
Keep in mind that Mastercard tried to do this, and so did Visa with OnlyFans at one point, and it backfired miserably. This is not a isolated event. This is a very, very much so something that's been a long time coming. It just sucks that we have to juggle this and the internet censorship thing at the same time, and the Epstein files at the same time. But, you know, if gamers are not multitaskers, I don't know who are.
They should have no say in that matter at all. As long as they're not buying like actually illegal shit, which they were not, then there should be no issue here whatsoever. So MasterCard has come out with a statement where they're trying so hard to like downplay it and look like their hands are clean in this, but it's just a blatant lie that Valve
especially whenever you've got Valve CEO coming forward. Valve was trying to be more discreet about it, but it just came forward and said, yo, it's the payment processors. They did it. And we knew that, but like, just to have somebody who was honest about it really meant the most. You know what I'm saying?
Called them out on. So
like,
let's
stop tiptoeing around this. If they're causing problems, then let's put them in their place. This would most likely be solved with government legislation to put these people in their place, because there is no reason why a card company, a payment processor, should be in control of what is on a website. That is a scary thing to even think about.
Go ahead and look at the MasterCard statement, but I also want to make a mention. itch.io is actually relisting some of the free, not suitable for work content that was de-indexed as a result of this unholy alliance between Collective Shout and the payment processors, where they did the fucking Dragon Ball Fusion dance and became every villain is Lemon's fucking evil. And once all that,
I don't want to sound like I'm crazy here, but it is kind of interesting to me that they can threaten the market, but no one's called their bluff. Like, what would they have done if Japan actually called their bluff and said, well, then take it away, we'll figure something else out? Do you really think that scumbags like this are going to risk losing shares of the market to some company that's probably, you know, like a startup company that is supposed to be like in a tri-monopoly with Visa and MasterCard? They're not going to lose that. Like, they're not going to do it. It's not going to happen. And furthermore, the government would step in almost immediately.
Content was removed, itch.io has now been trying to re-index the ones that are free, so that way it doesn't even go through the payment processor.
Exactly.
So as long as the adult content is no payment, it can be listed again on itch.io here, and they're trying to find other processors to avoid putting the platform at risk. Stripe,
yes,
however,
that's the best thing you can do. Try to find other payment processors, if at all. I think that, again, the only way this is going to get solved is with legislation, like the government stepping in, putting their foot down and saying, you could either do your job or we'll find somebody else, you know? But it's kind of crazy that these two companies, instead of trying to fight each other for dominance, they're using their power to completely destabilize the entire gaming market. It's kind of crazy.
Has issued a statement to them saying Stripe is currently unable to support sexually explicit content due to restrictions placed on them by their banking partners.
Yep,
despite card networks generally supporting adult content with the appropriate registrations, Stripe has indicated that they hope to be able to continue adult content in the future. So Stripe is putting the kibosh on it, but leaving the door open, like maybe down the line when Collective Shout and others stop fucking, getting them on the horn, yelling and squealing about whatever they want to make a hoopla on, then maybe they'll start supporting it again. But as of right now, it's not like it's improved in that area. Anyway, let's take a peek at what Mastercard had to say. Clarifying recent headlines on gaming content. Mastercard has not evaluated any game or required restrictions of any activity.
Oh, so they lied. So they're saying that they haven't done this, but they did, and they've done it twice now. Well, 3 times. You've got the Japan market with the manga, you've got the itch.io, and then you've got Valve, Steam. So it kind of blows me away that after they do this, they claim they haven't done anything wrong. I mean, do you think the 20,000 people are really going to fall for that guy?
On game creator sites and platforms contrary to media reports and allegations. Our payment network follows standards based on the rule of law. Put simply, we allow all lawful purchases on our network. At the same time, we require merchants to have appropriate controls to ensure Mastercard cards cannot be used for unlawful purchases, including illegal adult content. That is what we call a big load of barnacles.
It's just the copy and paste. I'd imagine that most of the people that called the facilities for Visa and MasterCard were told to go to email, yes, and then email the whatever number, whatever thing, and then they probably have an automatic email system set up to copy and paste this email and send it out to people. And the worst thing that you can do is take that as an acceptable thing. Don't email them again, call them. Continue to blow up their call centers, continue to push this. They will cave. They will cave.
Valve already gave a statement to Kotaku. Well, a spokesperson for Valve did, which is probably the fastest I've ever seen Valve give a statement, to be honest. They immediately came out and said, wait a minute, nope, flag on the play. We're going to have to challenge this one here. This is ridiculous.
There we go.
It was Mastercard, like it was these payment processors. Like it did.
For Valve said that meanwhile, Mastercard did not communicate with it directly. Concerns did come through payment processors and banking intermediaries. They said payment processors rejected Valve's current guidelines for moderating illegal content on Steam, citing Mastercard's rule. Oh, so they did. So yeah, no. Here we go. Yep. They came forward and were like, nope.
That was reported by Steam and itch.io. It is an irrefutable fact. So anyway, Valve came out.
Yeah, they thought that they were going to roach out on it, but then they got smooshed because it's kind of crazy to see Valve standing up, though. Like, Valve has always been kind of that, like, person in your corner that you could always rely on. Though, I mean, I could understand why their original statement was so, like, broad about talking about it, because they were scared of Visa and MasterCard, but itch did not care. And I don't blame them, because they know the gaming community is going to, like, it's pretty much hold my beer situation. You know what I'm saying? Like,
to once again say that that's exactly what happened. They said payment processors rejected Valve's current guidelines for moderating illegal content on Steam, citing Mastercard's Rule 5.12.7. Mastercard did not communicate with Valve directly despite our request to do so. Mastercard communicated with payment processors and their acquiring banks. Payment processors communicated this with Valve, and we replied by outlining Steam's policy since 2018 of attempting to distribute games that are legal for distribution. Payment processors rejected this and specifically cited Mastercard's Rule 5.12.7 and risk to the Mastercard brand.
So, look at that. That's crazy. The reason why they emphasize the risk is because even if it's legal, they can still cite it and get it taken down off of Steam because of the broad spectrum that risk hits. I understand why it's there. It's legal jargon, so it pretty much gives them the power to do whatever. But here's the kicker. All this is just made up by them. So, like, at the end of the day, if Steam has its own regulations on what's legal and what's not legal based on the areas where their customers live, that's not the payment processor's problem. So this paper shouldn't even exist. Your job is to process payments, not to regulate, not to hassle, to process payments. Do your job, put the fries in the bag before you end up putting the fries in the bag.
So that rule that they keep referencing states a merchant must not submit to its acquirer and a customer must not submit to the interchange system any transaction that is illegal or in the sole discretion of the corporation may damage the goodwill of the corporation or reflect negatively.
Oh man, no one gives a crap about your goodwill. I have never gotten a freaking debit or credit card, looked at the front of it and said, oh, it's Mastercard. Oh, good, I don't have to worry about there being people in China that are child labor making my card. Guess what? All the cards are probably made in China, which means they're probably using child labor. Hate to break it to you. The goodwill of a company that is willing to charge you 33% interest on any credit card purchase that you do without even telling them for the most part, unless you actually pull up the rules and regulations of the credit card companies themselves on a site or on a piece of paper that comes with the credit card and actually sit through and read the fine print. Most people don't even know that when you use a credit card, it has 33% interest, and they want it that way because they're slime bags. They want to get money from you using a credit card. They don't want to just help you. No company wants to help you.
On the marks. The sale of a product or service, including an image which is patently offensive and lacks serious artistic value, such as by way of example and not limitation, images of non-consensual sexual behavior, sexual exploitation of a minor, non-consensual mutilation of a person or body part, and bestiality, or any other material that the corporation deems unacceptable to sell in connection with a mark. Violations of Rule 5.12.7 can result in fines.
I think this is all just a bunch of hoopla. I think I'm going to go ahead and end this video here, boys. As far as I'm concerned, these companies, they need to be put in their place. And the thing is like, if the government steps in, they're going to be put in their place regardless. That's the reason why they're trying to put out these copy and paste emails, is because they're trying to keep people from going to the government with this. And the thing is that these companies are trying to form their own type of sub-government ideals that they're trying to encroach upon or push upon all the people that are in the gaming space. And they're kind of finding out real quick that maybe they shouldn't, because it's wrong. I don't care about your personal ideals whenever I've got to go out and work my fingers to the bone, working a 9 to 5 or a 12-hour shift. I just want to come home and do my own thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be told what's right and wrong. It just the whole thing, just take it and throw it in the garbage. You know what I'm saying? But I'm out of here. Peace.